Hello, everybody. SJM back in the Desertopolis pack, cleaning up things, figuring out what we need to get through to the end game with as least amount of pain as possible. But things are going to get painful. I'm here on top in my test creative world here again, on top of this structure. This is a 13 by 13, so 11 by 11 interior, and I ended up having to go 12 tall, so 11, 11 by 10 on the interior on this guy to get him even close to 100,000 FE per tick. And remember I said in the last episode there we needed 1,000 ticks. If we get 100,000 input, then this about 96,000. So that equals to about 50 seconds, not 500 seconds, 50 seconds, so almost a minute. Maybe with this 96 per tick, we'd probably be closer to a full minute on each of the singularities that we need to create. And then the other thing about the super large ones like this, you're definitely going to want to have a separate input and a separate output, and then have like a chest with a pipe going in and a pipe coming out to another storage device, just so that you can make sure we keep the cyanide out of there so that we can keep this operating as efficiently as possible. Well, not efficiently, but as high energy output as possible. So rough calculations on this guy, we need, what is it, 9,756 iron, 6,096 graphite, and I did use diamond blocks as the coolant material in this, because if we were going to be using more iron blocks, then that would just be, more iron, exactly another 5,850, so another 6,000 iron on top of that. So might as well, as long as we're going to be doing the chickens, we may as well have the diamonds running in parallel rather than just a whole bunch of more iron chickens. And it's the same cost either way, right? 1 seed equals 3 of either resource when you're doing with the chickens, so that's neither here nor there, in all honesty. All right, let's jump back into the Let's Play world here. I did encounter another hiccup when I was trying to set up my little chicken setup. And that is the fact that the melons do not break down into melon slices unless you're using the cutting board. So the only crafting they do are the cable facades. You can compost them, and then you have to use a knife on the cutting board to get a melon slice. You can just craft the melon slices to get the melon seeds, but to get the slices out of the full melons, then we need to go to the cutting board. And remember earlier in the series, I was looking for something to use with the iron blocks down there with the entropy manipulator, and I couldn't find a user of any type. Well, I did find one. It is, I believe it's this player simulator from Integrated Dynamics. So it was quite the craft to get to, but it wasn't too hard. We just had to do the tricky thing to get the logic shards, the crystallized chorus chunks. And this was done with the popped chorus fruit, which we make with the apple from way back when, like earlier in the pack. There is this side quest to to do the popped chorus fruit, and that's what we need to use that for, is in the squeezer to get this crystallized mineral chunks. I think just three of those popped chorus fruit was enough to get me enough crystallized chorus to get everything I needed for this player simulator. Now the next thing I'm having difficulty with is how to use this thing. There are two things that integrated dynamics is known for, in my mind at the very least. It's very, very powerful, and it's very unintuitive. Even with the manual, I haven't been able to fully figure out exactly what we're doing with this, but actually I've got a variable card in here. Now do I do it this way? Wait, where's my knife? There it is. No. So somehow I have to tell this variable card that I want to use this item. Right? And then we could use this aspect here to click with the given items. If I just put this in here, it's going to give me a red X because we don't have an item defined in the variable card. So this is the trouble I'm having now, is to get that. And then from there, we would have to probably hook up a chest to this with the melon slices coming in, probably from a crafter, and then outputting back into the system one way or the other so that we can auto craft the seeds that way. Well, to the slices and then to the seeds after that. So yeah, we can clear variable cards that way. But how do I set it up, right? Empty is wild card. So yeah, I am not very versed with this at all. And then even if we go in here and craft up the book, which is just 2 mineral chunks in a book, going through here, I did eventually find information for the player simulator, but it didn't really tell me much either, so oh, lovely. Oh, I love phantoms. I really do. Such a good addition to the base game, right? Punish people just for getting lost in their thoughts. Anyways, I guess that's a bit of a wake-up call. We should stop trying to screw with that on camera and get to things that I do know how to do. So, with the chicken setup, I guess we're going to need We're going to be producing all these diamonds. I don't want them on my card. So we just pull them out, put them into the drawer system, and then it's going to be this one, right? And then the other thing that we'll need, it's going to be a little bit easier to do the automation with, is the Ender IO pipe system. Oh. We're going to want item conduits, which takes pulsating alloy, which is ender pearl fragments and that. So I guess we may as well set up a pattern to do this for us. You are connected to the system, you're powered. So why can't I see the pattern for it anymore? What did I do wrong with you? It's a processing pattern. It's in the smelter. It's facing the right way. This is an alloy smelter, right? Even though that's on alloys only, it should work fine because this is alloying. Oh, geez. Can I get away with just one? Probably not. Got the chest, I've got the spruce drawers, I've got the item conduits. And then from there, the only other thing I would need is to hook it back into the system so that we can pull the outputs from the chickens into the system. So the reason why we're going to be using these Ender IO item conduits is because they do input and output from the same let's not do that. From the same pipe. We need one over there. And we'll have a chest over here. Chest there. And if we just right click onto this guy here, we want this both. This is going to be insert only and not extract, because this is where the drops will be pulled out of each of these, but each of these ones that attach to the nest do have to be both insert and extract. Just like so. And our seeds can be somewhere along here as well. And this is going to be extract only. Round robin enabled so that it splits up all the seeds evenly amongst all of the chickens. And there we've got seeds coming in. It's going into this one. It's coming into this one. It's not coming to this one just yet. Then after that, we should start to see diamonds and iron coming into here. Really not doing the round robin very well now, is it? Anyways, it is filling up all of the nest with the seeds. As much as it can, and then the resources should be coming to here eventually. Maybe. Then I need to get on making obviously more of the 10-10-10 chickens, because we're gonna need tons and tons of iron and diamond chickens to produce the resources that we're looking for. Oh right, takes the 6 minutes or whatever, that's why. There we go. Now the drops should be coming in. He's got the drops there. Why aren't the drops being pulled by each of these guys? Trying to go here first because it's earlier in the piping system? Let me see if I can't figure this one out off camera for a second here. I guess I didn't click this active one, so let's see if that does the trick. Oh no. Insert. There, now the iron's going down, and it's landing in the chest. So that's what I missed there, is making sure that the extracts on each of the nests is always active. So that's how we'll set that up, and then the only things left to do is to pull back the outputs. So the feathers we could probably void, get our own chest with or another drawer with a void upgrade in it, so that we kill off those when they start to overflow. But to have this iron pulled back into the drawers and the diamonds pulled back into the system. That way, just have to hook up everything underground there. Doesn't even have to be underground at this point, I guess. And that's the chickens almost fully set up. So the other thing, I guess, to consider is we could do this setup over here just without the silk touch on the annihilation panes. But then we're going to need, 2 to 2.5 times the number of growth accelerators to be able to keep up with the number of seeds that we require, as opposed to doing the whole melons, right? Instead of getting 3 to 5 slices per chop, we'll be getting, or instead of getting 9 per melon, we'll be getting like 3 to 5 per harvest from the annihilation panes. So that is the factor to consider there. This is already empty of seeds. And seeds didn't even make it to there. So it's kind of weird how the round robin didn't work. Properly there. But that's not something we need to figure out here. It did split it up a little bit. We can use chicken catchers, or we can't use the chicken sticks to get them off of the nest. We still have to always have the animal capture nets to get them off. I wonder where all those seeds ended up. Oh, and now I'm out of power because this thing break. I think at this point now, because if this happens with the big reactor, where this like screws up every time I load the pack, it's simply just not going to be playable, right? Like the buffer was full there, but I couldn't have any power. There was no power anywhere. Very frustrating with the extreme reactors not working properly on a pack load. At least it should be fine with the chunk loading, I'm guessing. But yeah, I'm sure it works fine with the chunk loading. But every time I load into the world, I have to break one of the blocks. And I have to be careful because if I break the controller there, I lose all of the energy buffer, I'm pretty sure. I remember that happening. But yeah, I think with that frustration there, there's only one other thing I kind of wanted to go over with everybody, with all of you in here, and that is with the what was it? Oh, yes. So with the quantum compressor, to make the singularities, we need these quantum entangled singularities. So we need to make singularities in the matter condenser. So we have to make one of these items, and we have to hook it up to our AE2 system. And we make singularities by feeding what was it? Certain number of items into the matter condenser. I'm not sure if it's more than a stack, I'm pretty sure. Matter condenser is not hard to make at all. It's just glass, a piece of Fluix dust, and everything. But you will need the AE2 system set up, which is why I wanted to have this going one way or the other anyways. And then there are a couple of infinite disks. Let's see. What does it say in the guide? Right, so 256,000 items or buckets in a matter condenser to make one of these singularities. So the way to do that is they've got these drives in here. Which have so the ME infinity there's a water cell and a cobblestone cell, and these act as infinite sources of these so that you can feed them into the matter condenser. And this one is another reason to be into integrated dynamics, because you can get a transfer rate out of with the integrated dynamics into the matter condenser like 20 times faster than the ME system or the AE system can do itself, right? You could set up basically just these cables to go in there, but the transfer rate on these are a lot lower than on the integrated dynamics ones. So you just need like the exporter coming out of the drive. You'd need to make the disk drive and then put the disk in there, and then have one of the integrated dynamics ones coming out into the terminal, and then have another way to power the matter condenser itself. So yeah, you'll have to power the matter condenser through the side, like just put it here or something. Have the drive set up here or anywhere really where you can connect it really easily, and as long as you have the proper integrated dynamics connector. So you'd need the item interface if you're going to do the cobblestone, or the liquid fluid interface, which these are super easy to make. And then you just have to put in you have to set the variable card to set up in there to transfer it out. But that's going to be get you your singularities a lot faster, so that you can make the quantum entangled singularities within a reasonable amount of time. And from there, those will get you the singularities that we need to get the quantum compressor, or to make the singularities in the quantum compressor. Because we need these quantum entangled ones. So you take the singularities you make in the matter condenser, and you in-world explode them with a piece of ender dust or an ender pearl. Either will work. Just obviously, if we use the pearls, it's less processing. And you've got the tiny TNT in here as well, 2 Certus quartz dust and 2 gunpowder. Doesn't matter because we've got the chunk claimings, but if you didn't have chunk claims, then you'd want to go with the tiny TNT just so you don't blow up all of your stuff and things at the same time. So yeah, that was the only other thing I was going to show you all. And then from there, it's just mass crafting of these infinity ingots for all of these guys, and then waiting around for the neutronium to come in as well. And that's the end of the pack right there. Just one of those things I typically don't have patience for in these kinds of packs with these kinds of end games. I know how to do it all as a general rule, save for this player thing. I really wish I could figure out how to get it to use the knife, because then I think as long as I could figure out how to tell this player simulator to use a knife, then it wouldn't be an issue. You just have to hook up the crafter in a certain way. I don't know if you have the crafter on this side touching the player simulator, or if you have it touching the cutting board itself. I'm not sure which way that works, but you just have the, yeah, maybe even the crafter touching a chest with a hopper going into the cutting board would work. You can test the theory quickly, I guess. See, we can get, yeah, the hopper will put things onto the cutting board for us. So just a chest on top with the crafter facing into it, hooked up to the system, and then having the player simulator, you know, always just using the knife, and you might have to supply that with multiple knives so you don't run out after a time, but it's generally not too hard. You can even do it this way, I guess. Ooh, I guess that's where you'd probably have to set up some kind of timing. Because if we have these in our offhand, oh yeah, even, yeah, that's nowhere near as fast as with the hopper if you time it correctly. If you get the timing down correctly, I guess, that's faster. From there, we just need to have that hooked up to the system for that to bring it all over here. And there we go, we got 4 stacks of each of those in that few minutes. So it'd probably be a few hours of standing around idling, doing this or that, I guess, you know, putting together the entire big reactor itself. And then, yeah, the big thing with the crafts, with all of the singularities. Is that, yeah, we needed 88 infinity ingots. So that's at least 88 infinity catalysts, plus all the other times that you need one of these guys. That's 90 crafts, or 95 crafts, I was saying before. So that's 95 times 4, so 400 coal singularities. So that's all time, and it's all gated by time at the end of the game as well, because you can only input 100,000 at a time into it. It's not like you can have 10 of those reactors set up to be able to instantly produce those. And that's with the mini coal. You only need 64, right? So it's only a stack every time. So what is that? So 94 times 64 times 4 equals, and then you get 9 mini coal in each coal, so you only need 2,600 coal or so to produce the 90 crafts of that. So it's the number of items that isn't really bad, it's the power requirements there. I think when I was watching the finale on the um, gaming on caffeine playthrough of this, he reduced the power needs to make the singularity down to 1,000 or something like that, so they were instantly being produced, even even without that. But yeah, I think at that point, this point here, I'm going to wrap up my playthrough of this pack. It's been really fun. Some, you know, fair. Could almost get them. Here. Aha! You guys are divided now. Yeah, it's been fairly fun. A lot of the mechanics were fun. There's a lot of focus on tech, and then you know, really like 90% of the pack is in, I'd say about 75% of the pack is in this quest line here. Another, you know, 15% of the pack is here, and then the other 10% of the pack is all the rest of these quests, which basically these are all just showing you how to get all of your resources, and then it's up to you at the end to be looking ahead to see what we needed in the end game, which I wasn't quite prepared for. I probably should have had my chickens going a lot earlier. I didn't realize we would need over 10,000 iron because of the size of the reactor that we needed. But that's not something I immediately consider when I open up a pack. Is what we need in the end game. So that's something that I can work on in the future for being a better content creator. Is that looking ahead and seeing exactly what the end game consists of, so that when we get to that point, or when we're doing like all the little things as we go through, we can future proof ourselves earlier, so that we don't get into these spots where you're basically just AFKing in your world because you've got all your infrastructure set up. Like if I had 5 more iron chickens here, which obviously we could do. And then just wait around for all of them to produce. I got lots of time in my time in the bottle too, so that wouldn't even be really a difficult thing to, or where it really wouldn't be a long process there, because we got that pretty early on. What am I looking for? This. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's 250 for each of these guys. All right, that's enough. That's enough at this point there. That's I'm gonna cut that off there. Nobody needs to watch me do that. Because yeah, this doesn't, like, this system works pretty good. Oh, why is all the seeds coming back out now? It's because everything is full and it's overfilling them. No, this one doesn't have any seeds in it. That's weird. Why is the seeds coming out here now? Really strange. That would cause an infinite feedback loop. The seeds are coming back into here. Is this what we need? A filter? Set up a filter on there to blacklist. I don't even know how we'd blacklist. Interesting. All right. I will wrap this all up here. If there's anything that you're unsure of, absolutely let me know down in the comments. I'll answer it as best as I can. I'm pretty sure I've got a handle on how everything needs to go at the end of the pack here. Just I'm not patient enough to do that. I could be, could be doing more active things rather than just standing around waiting for iron. Making all the graphite. What did I say? We needed 7,200 graphite. So I'd need another 5 or 6,000 graphite bars, which is another 6,000. Yeah, that's another 6,000 coal there. So you need about 12,000 coal, 10,000 iron. Well, 10,000 plus iron, because iron's used for a whole bunch of other things like making dark steel alloy and so on and so forth. All right, yes. Nothing else I think I want to talk about for now. I hope you all enjoyed this playthrough. I tried to show everything. I guess, oh yes, one more thing that I didn't talk about too much was this resource generator. This guy is only used to make the record fragments, which are used to make the infinity catalyst. So if you have a way to get records themselves, because these can be made just by breaking a record down. So if you could make 100 of these music discs, there's only one crafting recipe, and that's for the one that comes from the End City. And that's the Samuel Aberg disc. Where is it? It'll pop up here at some point. This one, yeah, the Samuel Aberg 5. But if we could buy it through the... I didn't see it yet in the Amadron sales, but it might be in one of these sales somewhere where we can buy music discs. Because we have to get one for sure somehow, one way. And maybe that's through looting in the... pyramids. Maybe the loot chests in the pyramids have a possibility for a music disc. Because I don't know where else we get the first music disc to put into the resource generator. That was the one other talking point I had for the end game of the pack, was exactly where that first disc came from. And it's not a quest reward. Like, it would be nice if you made this guy, and as a quest reward it gave you the one music disc you need to put in there to create more. Because yeah, you need 8 in each of these infinity catalysts, so that's 720 record fragments that you need for the end game. Yeah. Anyways, that has been Desertopolis. I've been SJM. I hope you all enjoyed. I appreciate you all for checking out this series and my reluctance to actually, see it through to the end. Just as said, my personality, I don't have the patience to stand around in my world and wait for 5,000 of any resource to come through. Usually I don't play packs that have singularities at the end of them, but this one was super interesting, especially the early game. And the mid game was pretty interesting as well, just getting all the different systems set up. Little automations here and there, especially with this little extractinator dude. The automation with the oil and the pressure, that was fun. Yeah. Anyways, I appreciate you all, and we will see you in the next one.